Hi everyone, Robin here from Gardening with Mama Bird. The weather today has been between 45 and 50 degrees with lots of clouds. You can see behind me. So the sun peeks out and it can be very bright, or it's overcast and kind of shady. But I'm enjoying the weather. There's a bit of a breeze picking up, but I want to get to this garden bed area here. I have decided I want to plant in some more evergreens and maybe work on shearing up some of the evergreen boxwood that are already in place in the garden. So let me show you what I plan on doing. Along this bed, I have three, I think they're green mountain boxwood. They get about 3 foot wide and 5 foot tall. They've been in there for several years and they're growing out quite nicely. I've tried a couple different things in this bed. Last year I grew gomphrena from seed all along this whole area here, and it was filled in. It was super pretty. All the things that I've tried, I decided I've been inspired by some pictures that I saw on Pinterest where they just have layers of evergreen boxwood in shapes. So I had picked up extras of these last year, which are let me get the tag here, a green gem boxwood. They don't get very tall, about 2 foot by 2 foot, and should stay in a sphere type shape, which is on the other side of my driveway. So I up potted these three with the intentions of possibly put them in the landscape, and then I had these two sitting around. So I'm going to be measuring out some circular areas to account for 3 foot round area on each of the boxwood that are in place, and then the 2 foot for these, and place them such and plant them in this bed. So you can see right here what I did is I took my tape measure and I measured it on center, half of 3 feet each way, and then I came along here and eyed it from above, and then I'm marking a circular area so it gives me an idea of where this shrub might grow out to. All right, I looked around to find something that I could simulate what 24-inch diameter looked like. This is the closest thing I had, and this is about 22 inches round. So what I can do is sit here and play with that to determine how many I want to put along in here and where I want to place them to see how they'll fit in here. So that will help me eyeball what I want to do. When I stand back and look, I know, at least I think I know, I want one place between this area and the same over here between that break and that hedgerow. So I'm going to start out by placing these two and tracing it out, and then seeing if I can fit another one down here and maybe another one down there. And it looks like no matter what, if I place one in this area, I'm going to have to remove some of the pelargonium in here. I decided also to measure from the base of the plant over to the driveway curb and make it 24 inches. So that way they're in a line along here. As I dig down and see how much clay is under there, I'm going to amend it just a tad bit and make sure that it's raised up a little bit so the roots don't get soaked in this area, which it shouldn't be a problem because this driveway does have a slope that goes down to the sidewalk. This is what I'm using instead of bark as a top dressing over my soil, just to clean things up and make it look a little prettier. This is by Greenall, which I got at my local nursery. These are the things that are in it to help benefit the soil. Now it does say here to mix into the soil, but I'm using it just as a top dress. So it also has some nutrients as I top dress and will help loosen the clay soil over time. Oh my gosh, this is like the perfect day out here. By the time I get working, I am going to truly appreciate the weather. Just a quick catch up here of where I am in the process. I did some pruning on the hedges, and down below you can see some of the remnants left, even though I tried to put a sheet down. I should have done that after I laid the fir mulch as my compost, but I was wanting to make it look pretty with the compost, so I was a little ahead of myself. The next thing I need to do before I continue to put the compost out is I want to take these small landscape staples and go through and trench down a few of these small water lines so they'll stay hopefully underneath the fir mulch and not pop up and expose, so it looks a little bit better. These smaller landscape staples that I purchased from my local nursery are by this company. They are a little bit more pricey because they sell them, I don't know how many to a bag, maybe 50, and I think it's $10. I wish they sold them in bulk like the larger ones, but I tend to use the smaller ones for this smaller drip line because it's easier to grab a hold of it and pull them out if you need to resituate your drip line than these larger ones. These go so deep into the ground that I only use those for the thicker poly line, your main line. Well, I think I beat the rain. Look at those clouds. They are getting darker quickly. So let me show you what I did and we'll wrap it up for the day. So my vision for this garden bed is for these to grow up and have just a layer of evergreens in here, and then maybe I'll pop in color in here. What I did when I planted was I measured each of them out 24 inches to keep my straight line from the driveway. Then, like I showed in the video, I measured 3-foot round in diameter to consider growth here. These, if the label is accurate, I measured a 2-foot circumference on each of them. I was hoping to get something in here, but I'm not quite sure it's going to fit. What I may do with this area is be part of a pop of color in here. So I got all the drip line buried, except I wasn't too concerned with this little strip along the driveway because my plan is to go get some more alyssum and fill it in there for some color. I was able to give each of the small boxwood a little trim job so they look more round in shape. The larger Green Mountain, I've only trimmed those a little bit This is probably the most I've pruned on them since they've been in the ground. They were all planted at the same time. They were all the same size when I planted them, but nature does its thing. Then back behind it, the Gulf Stream Nandina, I have only like spot pruned these. This is the first time I've ever shaped them just lightly. I like them to be a little airy looking, so I didn't prune on those as hard, but I did decide to use the electric shears instead of just pruning little by little along them. So as you can see, I didn't prune them in too closely because I like that airy look on these. And then I topsoiled this part of the bed, which it looks great. It looks nice and done and clean. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a chance to get in your garden soon and enjoy this wonderful, cool weather. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.